Welcome everybody. We're so excited to invite you into 2022 Dancing Disability Lab. It is our pleasure to be in this experiment and in this journey with you together.
I think it'd be nice to start to just share an improvisation together and to move into relationship with one another as we are more warmed up.
Doing these explorations where I have the capacity to not be on four wheels and I really enjoy that aesthetic, but I'm also trying to undo the hypercompetence of those movements. So I have been trying to explore movements that incorporate those shapes but aren't bringing up that narrative of the hypercompetent disabled person being the only valid body in disability dance. So I really appreciated that moment where Kayla, you came over and you're like, can we just breathe together?
I wanted to have our first conversation today center around access intimacy and to have an opportunity for folks to share any access needs that are starting to emerge for this space.
Claiming disability in spaces has more often than not actually created more danger for me. So to keep claiming it is an act of love for myself, and refusing and trying to undo the patterns of not being allowed to have needs, of not being able to name my own reality.
Spaces being accessible and access intimacy being present allows for safety and that folks don't necessarily need to disclose.
I wanted to think about what is your relationship to being seen, and how do you feel misread on stage specifically, but in performance and in life in general.
Are we moving or talking?
Sorry. We are talking a little bit, and then we're gonna choreograph.
Cool. Coming into autistic identity, and I'm really interested in what is an autistic aesthetic. For me, an autistic aesthetic is also a political orientation, asking a lot of questions, trying to distill to get really, really clear. And it pushes up against people's understandings of what's professional, what's appropriate, what's just expected.
The pieces that we've written, we can read a sentence, we can offer a word, we can move our pieces, perhaps, if speaking isn't accessible.
To just exist and thought.
For my multi-marginalized disabled dancers, future, present, and past, you are a dancer despite being told no. You are a dancer despite all the rejections placed upon you.
Your body, mind, and spirit are not to blame.
We push these dark thoughts aside, but it's there every single time when we are told no.
Most importantly, create for yourself. You no longer need to prove to the dance world that we can dance.
And I think that disability rights is about, fighting for justice, but I don't think that when people write laws, they're necessarily sitting there and thinking about love all the time. So like love, I think, is supposed to be about community.
Anytime you do anything political, if it's not rooted in a love practice, it's not social justice work. It's not politic work that we need to be doing. So both of you are making me think about those things.
Hi, my name is Kayla Hamilton, she, her pronouns. I'll be moving toward the audience in a way, playing inside of getting internalized ableism off me in movement and working with spirals.
Hi, I'm Karen Krolak, she, hers, pale Euromut with an unruly mane of silver hair. Starting on Sunday, we did a series of exercises that were kind of looking at questions of portraiture and how we picture ourselves. We're going to do it today with impromptu audio description that will be done by Allison.
She's crouched beneath, so it's difficult to see her. And she reaches a foot up. You see her pointed toes, ankles.
My practice is focused on pleasure and joy-seeking as a radical act for multiply marginalized people. I will speak through a meditation, and then our dancers will move for about one song. In a lot of my work, when I'm choreographing myself, when I'm choreographing with others, we're interested in creating the gaze that we find sexy, that we find sexual, and we're finding and centering what makes us feel pleasure, and then figuring out how to present that and not be fixated on hitting the beats and the rhythms of things that were traditionally made to please heterosexual men.
I just wanted to say that it's been really an honor to be included in the space and to be able to contribute like in any way possible and to feel like accepted for who I am, and like that's a very rare experience.
We live in a white supremacist, patriarchal, ableist culture that values oppressive standards for the sake of centralizing power and making profit. Our ostracism is a result of this system that demonizes difference, not a reflection of your worth, value, ability to be loved, etc. You are not the problem, you are perfect.
That the work that you're doing here, or maybe the play that you're doing here, the work play, the serious fun, the holding of justice as you imagine possibility, that's what everyone else not here needs to know about. This knowledge comes from you, but it could heal so much more. And so I take that with me too. Thank you.